Here's a timeline of some of the key events made in the allegations today. And again, all of these are allegations by Spencer Collier, the former top cop in the state. Governor Bentley has reached a deal that would lead to his resignation sometime in the next couple of days. That's right, Janet. I talked to the mayor just in the last 30 minutes, and he was here to simply explain the reasoning behind the decision to remove the statue, saying it is time. Are you satisfied if this is indeed the only punishment for what has allegedly been going on? Well, we're actually inside the jail foyer here where we are waiting for Sherry Lewis to walk out. We believe she is still inside after having been booked on what the jail's booking site calls an embezzlement charge. This is why it is so close tonight and why it is too close to call. This is our brand new county by county map we're debuting tonight on the WBRC Fox 6 News app. You can play along with me here at home. When the local office didn't return our calls for comment, we went to the facility looking for some answers. We have a question. Why not? She's saying no comment and we can't come in. EBSCO says now because of our investigation, they are reaching out to the virtual library to try and correct this. But the folks who work inside here day to day told us they don't have time to answer our questions this week. Maybe next week they'll get back to us. But that's not good enough for us because we want to make sure you're protected right now. Let's look at some of the more shocking allegations inside this lawsuit filed today.
I think most of us would agree there could be a problem with that.
Excellent. Dad, thanks for the free advice.
Anytime, son.
There you go. Pays to know somebody every now and then, doesn't it? What do you say to those frustrations, folks, who simply don't have another choice for the service? You are a monopoly.
We only want to charge the customers for the water that they consume.
All right, breaking news. The Associated Press has made a call in this race. They believe Doug Jones will win this Senate race, would be the first Democrat elected in this state to the Senate since 1992 when Richard Shelby did it. 2 years before switching parties. Steve, in just the last 60 seconds, Jerry Jones, the head of Birmingham Waterworks contractor Arcadis' Birmingham division until Monday, just walked out of these doors behind me, jumped into an SUV and drove off. He also turned himself in today on a 3-count indictment. Let's show you the video, though, of Sherry Lewis, the Waterworks board chairwoman, walking out of this jail in just the last 15 minutes or so. Welcome. It's nice to have you with us, along with the AARP of Alabama. I'm Jonathan Hardison from WBRC Fox 6 News, and it is a pleasure to have our candidates and you, our audience especially, along with us tonight for this debate. There are 12 people in all vying to be the next mayor of Birmingham, and tonight you're going to hear from 5 candidates. Beyond just simply throwing funds at it, how specifically would you not only fight crime, but try and address its root causes and perhaps prevent it before it happens? Ms. Bell, we'll begin with you. 1 minute. Okay, we're trying not to take this personally, but a new poll released tonight, get this, says Americans dislike the news media only slightly less than they do Vladimir Putin. So now we've got the Hillary camp, got a couple of guys, Aaron Sanders, but oh, look at them O'Malley, folks. He's only polling at 3%. Not very many people here, so I'm sorry. You didn't get 15% of all the people in this one site. So you're not viable anymore, Mr. O'Malley supporter. So now, what are we going to do? Well, Mr. Dalton on the property in Odenville has contacted us with some issues about mold, he says, has not been addressed. Can you speak to that, or can he speak to that? The office staff telling us they couldn't speak to this concern, but they would pass along the message. That was a Friday afternoon. First thing Monday morning.
I couldn't believe it. It was first thing in the morning. They came and knocked on the door and they got to work.
What an odd journey this has been. He has left. The last time he left this building, he had not pled guilty to misdemeanors. He left within the last hour, went and apparently was booked, mug-shotted, and made a plea. And again, now is heading back here to his offices for the last time to address the state. But we do understand he is no longer the governor of the state. In court, he said he has resigned. The resignation letter has been given to Lieutenant Governor Kay Ivey. So in effect, she is unofficially, or officially, if you'd like to look at it that way, the governor of Alabama as of now, the 54th governor of Alabama. We'll bring in Art Faulkner. Art, would you join us? This is the director of the state EMA. Art, we talk about the continuity of government. You cover some of the most important, time-sensitive aspects of state government in terms of response. Talk about the transition process for the entire cabinet, but specifically for someone who has oversight of a lot of very key agencies. A history that will go into the textbooks and the record books, but not as a very pleasant chapter for the state's history. I mean, who would have expected to see this 2 years ago? A mugshot for the sitting governor of the state. But that's what we got late this afternoon when the Governor Bentley went in his motorcade over to the Montgomery Circuit County Courthouse, pleading guilty to 2 misdemeanor charges. 3 people with opinions, too, who will share them. How about that, Janet? I've got Paul DeMarco, former state representative Republican, John Saxon, a longtime proud Democrat. John, let's start with you because we just talked or heard from Doug Jones. He faces an uphill battle no matter who wins this GOP runoff, but he has some powerful friends. He has longtime ties to the Democratic Party. We were just talking in December, do we see money from the National Party? Do we see national figures in our state trying to push him over the top? All right, breaking news. The Associated Press has made a call in this race. They believe Doug Jones will win this Senate race, would be the first Democrat elected in this state to the Senate since 1992 when Richard Shelby did it, 2 years before switching parties. And EBSCO told us it looked at the Alabama Virtual Library, the one that a lot of students in our area and around the state use, and they discovered it was allowing users with elementary or middle school profiles to access two databases that EBSCO doesn't recommend for students at that age. EBSCO says now because of our investigation, they are reaching out to the virtual library to try and correct this.